Mike Shinoda.
Welcome, everyone, to the second episode of the LPLive Podcast, your place for everything Linkin Park related, co-hosted by Andrew Mariolis
Hello.
and myself, Dylan Yadav, otherwise known as Rogue Soul. We also got my friend A-Stat, Anthony Staten,
Hello.
and Ben.
What's up?
We are your casting crew of today, and in this episode, we will be discussing the recent events in the Linkin Park world, which there has been a lot since we last.
Yeah, there's been a few things.
Appeared in front of you. I think last time we were discussing paper cuts before it even came out. I don't think we're gonna talk about that much today. We got a lot to get into. But essentially, Linkin Park is back. We have all managed to see them at some stop of this tour. They just ended their first run of shows. It's currently to break the fourth wall. It's September 29th here. So yesterday they played their last show in Korea. Their first show in Korea in like 13 years. Their first show in Asia in like 9. We're here at the end of the tour, the first leg of the tour, to discuss what's been happening. Let's start at the countdown. Let's start where this all began.
Well, do we want to start there, or do we want to do like the comeback rumors thing?
I guess we
We
could.
can take a step back. Start with Jay Gordon going on an interview, basically saying he's heard Linkin Park is working with a new vocalist, and then it got kind of messy, like he retracted his statement or something like that. But also a Billboard article came out a little bit later saying they also heard Linkin Park are back, notably Mike, Brad, and Dave, with Rob and Joe left as a question mark back then. So that was like the first spark of rumors about the reunion.
Yeah, and the Jay Gordon thing was funny because like when he retracted his statement, he said that no, they took what I said out of context. I didn't say it the way that they said I did, and like it was a video interview on a podcast.
He straight up said it exactly.
He didn't think about the fact that, it was on a podcast. So it's not like they wrote this article just like, oh, I heard he said this. So you can't even retract it. He's like, oh, no, I never said it like that. Goes back to the podcast.
I heard they got a girl singer now.
You said it exactly like
Man got caught in 4K.
It was already like too late by the time you started retracting it. Every female rock singer in every interview was already being asked, like, are you the new singer of Linkin Park? Like, I remember the big one was like Amy Lee and Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm.
Started with Bonnie.
Cause she posted it too. She was like, I don't know, gearing up for a couple shows, and she posted, they don't know I'm leaving them for Linkin Park.
Yeah, she really leaned into it to like troll people.
She had to post an apology video.
I think it was like a good amount of rumors and speculation building up until eventually the countdown. Like even until the last days to the countdown, like the Emily rumor was there as like the strongest candidate, but still we weren't sure.
And there was the whole Bleed It Out thing where they teased the music video upgrade for like 2 weeks, and everyone was like, they're gonna do something at the end of this. Guess it
The
kind of
party starts when the song is over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Which kind of was correct. Because then we got straight into the countdown, which it was kind of infuriating at the time. Makes sense now. It was just the null sign, the 0 with the line through it. And it counted down from 100 hours. Had everyone's attention. Rock media was talking about it. The fans were talking about it. People who weren't fans were talking about it.
There were so many people on there at the end of the countdown.
Hundreds of thousands of people there. And then it finally hit 0. The screen glitches. Everyone's shitting their pants. I was sitting in my car on my hour break with my food, my Chick-fil-A ready to go. I was like, this gonna hit so different. And then it starts counting back up, and I was like, I was like, I'm not even hungry anymore. What do you mean we're counting back up? And then it glitched out at 9 minutes and 5 seconds. So everyone's like, okay, September 5th, which just so happened to be another 100 hours wait. So I was like, oh God, here we go. What was everyone else's reactions?
The countdown is, I get, like, I think a lot of us were disappointed or frustrated, or what was good about it eventually, I think, is that when it did come out, like, they blasted everything. It wasn't just the release of the single or just the live, it was everything at the same time. Like, we made you wait, we trolled you, but now here's everything. Like, enjoy, kids.
The social media, after it started counting back up, it was so funny. Going through people's reactions and like what everyone was saying, because there were so many people like, what the actual fuck? Was it? And Mike, on his Discord was like, sorry to everyone who's new here. But yeah, I was gonna say, because I personally was expecting like maybe a single.
Yeah.
Or even just straight up a new lineup announcement. Like that's the only two things I was expecting. And then like fucking concert, tour dates, album, and new lineup all in one. And I was like, holy shit.
But yeah, but then
Yeah.
we did get to September 5th when the countdown hit 100 again. No, here's what happened. The 100 hours counted up to September 2nd. And then on September 2nd, they were like, be part of something. September 5th.
Right.
I think, what
That's
was it,
right.
500 LPU members? 100? I think it was 500. They were invited out to LA. Well, they weren't invited. They had to, like, get tickets. They invited out to LA for an event. No one knows anything about it. They don't know if the band's even going to be there. Day comes. Our friend, the founder of LPLive, Mark, is there telling us updates. I think they went to Universal Studios to a parking lot and then got on buses with a police escort, got sent to the Warner Brothers HQ where they entered a warehouse to like a stage. And like people could see drums, they could see a little setup. They're like, oh shit, we're about to see a performance happen. And up until this point, no one knows anything. No one knows if there's a song. Well, it might have leaked. No one who is there knows there's a song coming out, who the lineup is.
They really don't know why they're there for.
Yeah, exactly. No one knows why they're there in the first place. It could be anything from like they're about to watch like a video to like they're about to see a performance. And when they get there, they're like, oh shit, we're going to see a performance. With a brand new song, little new mashup intro. When that Castle of Glass intro starts, you can't just help but feel like, oh damn. We're in this now. And they had a very cool setup.
Laser beams was so cool.
Yeah, the whole production setup is insane. The lasers pointing at the sky, the videos interacting with the laser. And that's in the first like 1 minute. Everyone's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is before anybody's even on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then even like when people started getting on stage, they still like weren't entirely sure what was going on.
Oh yeah, there's still many questions. Us at home, we were like, is that grandson on drums?
That was the funniest thing to me because grandson kept teasing something about Linkin Park. We now know it's Colin, but he happens to look kind of like grandson, and we didn't know who he was. So like, is grandson the drummer from Linkin Park? But it was actually that he was the opening act for the tour dates.
But yeah, they walk out. Colin Britton and Alex Fetter walk out with the rest of. We got Mike, Phoenix, and Joe. Everyone's already like, what the hell's going on? They come out to the Emptiness Machine, which no one there has ever heard. Pretty much no one in the world's ever heard. They sing this new song. Now we know how it goes. Mike leads it up until the second verse. And as soon as that second verse, the guitar comes back in, Emily walks out on stage. And everyone's just like, oh, fuck. And then she starts singing. And everyone's like, oh, okay, I see. Well, there's a lot of mixed reactions. But that's when the world is like, oh shit, okay, Linkin Park is here. We have a new singer, some new members. The old guys are back. We got a new song. What was everyone's reaction at first? Because I know in our own private like LPLive staff chat, we talked about a lot of speculation. We threw Emily's name around a lot.
I had to miss the live stream because I had to work.
I barely did too.
Poor Dylan's sitting there because Mark's at the event and Dylan's sitting there posting news for the website, and then they drop everything all at once.
We'll get into that in a second because that's a whole other story. But Ben and Drew, what were your thoughts on Emily?
Above anything, I was just completely shook. None of this ever got out, and it was fucking Instagram followers that gave us the clue. But that also shows you how good their team is because they were notified and they were like, we're not going to unfollow because if we do,
then everybody will know.
They did so well with the secrecy for such a large project that's been worked on for months.
Like the whole industry, everyone who knew in the industry was just like, I'm letting this happen. I'm not going to be the one to tell anyone.
But my actual reaction to the live thing, I was just like, it was a lot to process. Put it that way. At first it was like, oh my God. The fuck is going on? Got a new singer, a new song. I did not expect this. And actually the event, I personally thought the event was a panel. and then I had to like rewatch it to process everything.
To go back for a sec, the way we figured it out, the band's old crew members and like part of their management teams like now follow Emily Armstrong from Dead Sarah on Instagram. So we were all like, this is a bit suspicious.
We immediately went, oh yeah, Emily ticks a lot of these boxes because she's not a superstar. So she's not really somebody who's going to
have other things going on.
Yeah, but then her current band, Dead Sarah, hadn't really been active for the better part of a year, so she was available. I've known about Dead Sarah for a long time, so I knew that she had like that really aggressive, gravelly kind of voice that she could do.
Just the whole female idea, I know it like came together to them naturally, but getting a female vocalist, I think it's very smart comparison-wise.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting, to be honest.
It gives the whole band like a new flavor.
It defines the new chapter a lot more than if it was just like another guy.
The comparisons would have been way worse. It'd be like, or this doesn't sound like Chester.
There's like a bigger degree of separation there. Whereas like if you were to get one of the people that kept coming up was Bobby Amaru, who's he did the Already Over sessions with Mike. He sings with Saliva. He does a lot of Linkin Park covers, him and his daughter, on like TikTok and stuff, and they're really good. You know, if Bobby goes up there and he's singing all the classic Linkin Park songs, they're doing them in all the same keys, and he's singing as similarly to Chester as he can, because that's kind of what he does. It's never going to be good enough for anybody because the comparisons are so easy to make.
Yeah, you might as well just see a cover band for less.
Even musically, they'd never do it. Like, they always want to try the new thing. They wouldn't go for someone that just sounds like their previous singer.
The comparison that I always thought of was Arnel Pineda, the singer from Journey. He was doing like Journey cover band stuff when they found him. And he's been in the band for like 20 years or something, and people still give him a ton of crap for being like, oh, cover band singer, it's just karaoke, blah, blah, blah.
At this point, we can like break down how like every new member came in the band and what's their like role in the band. We already started a little bit talking about Emily, but I want to tell the story how she got together with the band.
It was really from her doing sessions with Mike, right? A long time ago.
She was just one of the numerous singers and other artists that he had been working with separately from anything else. He did In My Head with Kaylee Morg, sorry.
And I mean, it's 2019. He's doing like all kinds of songwriting, producing for others. He just works with a lot of people.
Yeah, that was after he got done touring Post-Traumatic and was just kind of laying low and holed up in the studio working with other people.
And then it basically starts with Joe, right? Pretty much Joe asked Mike, like, can we just hang out more? Get together in a room, maybe make some music just because I miss my friend. And Dave got in pretty fast into it. So the three of them started working again with other people, and Emily was one of them. Until eventually they were at the East West Studios in Los Angeles, and Mike told Emily, we're gonna be here for like a month or something, and you can come in the studio like as much as you'd like. And she said, can I come in every day?
Also, Colin worked with Mike too. If I remember correctly, that song that we never got between, was it Grandson, the guy from Fever 333, and Mike? And then didn't Colin play drums for that supposedly? Or he was in the studio during that as well?
Mike and Colin co-produced that Fever 333 song that just came out, but they made it a while before that. And then they had worked together on like a couple other things. Colin, he's actually more known for being a producer and like audio engineer. His main thing that he's been doing, like he worked a lot with Papa Roach on their last record.
Did you actually see, I was going to say that because I actually saw like Jacoby kind of responding to that. He even told like, Colin told Jacoby has like a big opportunity right now. And then Jacoby was like, yeah, whatever, man, go take it. You know, it could be good. Now he knows what that opportunity was. So it's kind of crazy how, like, apparently they couldn't even tell. Like I want to know what Emily told Dead Sarah.
I don't know.
If I recall, she mentioned somewhere, like, when she got in the studio, like, that month a lot, she had some discussion with them, and they said, like, if they do ask, like, just go for it.
Yeah, because I take that back. I bet she didn't tell him. because I don't know. I feel like that is such a big thing that you want as little people to know as possible. Because as soon as somebody tells a friend, it's over with.
Yeah.
The thing
I
is,
mean,
they didn't know though. Like until they got the shows, the offers for the shows, if I'm not mistaken, and they decided, okay, we want to do the shows. It's then basically when they asked Emily to get on board. Like same for
Yeah.
Colin, I assume.
Didn't Mike say they actually came like earlier than that? Like the shows were actually supposed to be earlier.
Yeah, there was that whole Mike Shinoda and Friends thing that was rumored for some festival shows last year. Because at that point, I'm assuming they hadn't even decided whether they were going to call it Linkin Park or not.
Which, unlike some certain people's opinions, so glad they didn't change the band name.
I was going to say the only person that would be able to be there that isn't is Rob.
From what they've said, basically he left sometime late 22, early 23.
I think he just kind of stopped showing up to things, and they kind of were just like, he doesn't want to be presently part of this, whatever we are doing going forward.
We're just genuinely curious, like, what's up with Rob? Like, hope he's just doing well. That's all.
Exactly. Well, because like it really started like after the Zoom interviews during COVID for Hybrid Theory 20, and he was there. Like he was never at anything Meteor related, Meteor 20, never said anything. And then he was supposed to do like notes from the band, like his note. You know, he never did his note, and the last thing Mike said about it or something was like, "It's not ready yet.
Rob's not available for it or something."
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point, it's not even about like we're so upset he's not in the band anymore. It's like I actually genuinely just like want to know is he good? Like, because he's so low key that you literally we probably will never know ultimately. Like maybe one day, like the Hall of Fame thing, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I feel like if he doesn't show up to that,
they're eligible next year. By the way,
yeah, they'll probably get it next year. Is it easy? Well, I know it's not easy to get, but like for them, do you think they would get it their first time?
With them being like in the midst of a big comeback thing, I think they might push more to induct them first ballot. I just also know that like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame committee is kind of not big on a lot of stuff that came out after the early 90s. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I guess getting back to like the band members, we can talk about Brad Delson himself and his replacement, Alex Fetter. So Brad is still in the band. Like he's in the promo pictures, he's in the videos. But yeah, Brad is solely like an in-studio member now, which isn't unheard of. There's a couple bands that do that. Like I know the Killers do that.
Brad's role in the band right now, I mean, at least for now, I think he genuinely is active in all other fields. Just feels like he doesn't want to play live, but as far as I know, he worked on the set list. He's Mike's like right-hand man production-wise, so he wanted him there and they work well together.
He was there for the LA shows, even though he didn't play.
Oh, right. Also believe for the stage production and everything. So I think he just does what the parts he enjoy, and I hope he keeps enjoying them.
His role is he's almost like a manager who just happens to play guitar on the record too.
Well, in that One Step Closer book, so he even mentioned that like Brad was like brains, like business, like music business, like he was always really good at that kind of stuff. It's mentioned somewhere in that like he's real smart, and I honestly think that we might get some of the best work out of Brad now. Cause like I think he's way happier. I don't know. I think he's like happier doing this, and he's like, I don't have to tour. I get to do everything else that I love to do. And this man could be sitting here at home on the production, cooking a whole album while they're on tour.
I actually think that's true for every member, and that's like the most happy thing about the whole situation. Like everyone created their role in the band, and they are actually doing what they want to do. Like the whole thing with Joe doing his cinematography on stage and their direction so far, and Mike he's there like always, and I think everyone takes joy from the parts that they're more free to do what they like.
And Joe's like feeling it, man. Yeah, like I swear in the latter years, like he used to like I guess hunting party really, because there's like barely for anything him to do. But like starting there, it just seemed kind of like he was just there. But like now, this man has so much energy and he's like going crazy. And he like spoke on the mic. I was like, dude, I don't think I ever seen Joe talk this much on a mic. I think ultimately that's what makes me the happiest is because they're like back and their energy is crazy. Like the band, it feels fresh. It really does. And I
Is it
know that's
also
exactly what they wanted to happen, but it feels so fresh. The energy is
yeah.
really high,
Another thing to
and
say
they're like
that's
smiling.
exciting is that I feel like the members who aren't playing live anymore, just aren't with the band, are the ones who kind of kept the set list from really going to really crazy places. Like if we look
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get back to like the whole what they're doing now, during the September 5th thing, just to like touch on it a little bit, they announced everything. Like the second they took the stage, everything got announced. So we got the From Zero album announcement, we got the tour, first 6 days of the tour. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And now flash forward, like it feels like a year ago. That was like 3 weeks ago this all happened. And like just looking back at it, like the set list they've been playing, the longest show they've been playing like consistently in their whole careers. Whole bunch of variety. We got live debuts from songs that aren't even on albums. We have Friendly Fire being played. We have Keys to the Kingdom getting its live debut after 10 years. We have songs we never thought we'd see again, like Breaking the Habit.
Shortened version of
Lost,
shortened
yeah.
stripped.
Acoustic
Yeah.
Lost is really nice. My December's back. It's like they've really brought a lot of everything. Even to say like they've switched up the like core structure of the set list. Like there's no like it used to kind of be like heavy stuff first and then kind of gets a little more mellow, which it kind of is like that, but they also save like Heavy as the Crown, Keys to the Kingdom, all these like paper cut, like all these really heavy songs for like the final moments of the show now. It just seems like they have so much more freedom, and you can see it like in what they're playing too now.
And something on that specifically with Colin and like Rob. Rob is was almost like OCD in a way with his playing. Like he's perfected it and he stuck to it. Colin, like
He's a
just
very
adds
live drummer, Colin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I lost my shit that second verse of Paper
Oh my
Cut when I
God,
first
it's
heard it. And I was like, this guy's nasty.
Colin's playing guitar on some songs. He's like, I think he even sings on My December. It's like, this dude's doing a lot of different stuff for the whole production of
He's
it.
low key like Mike, honestly. He's a lot
Yeah,
like
he's like a
Mike.
mini Mike.
Like moving forward, those two gonna do a lot of good stuff production wise. Like they both can play pretty much everything. They're both super creative and so
Yeah.
much into it.
It's gonna be exciting to
also-
see what happens on like future tours when to see how much they like switch up the set list, or what
Yeah.
other songs they decide to bring in.
And Colin has like obviously a ton of prediction experience because, like you said, Papa Roach, A Day to Remember.
And these are
I
also
don't
the
know
new
if they-
people joining the band are also like people who have listened to this band. Like they grew up with these guys too.
Yeah, Emily and
like-
Colin are like they're like around my age. They're about 10 years younger than the rest of the guys in the band, and they kind of grew up listening to that stuff.
I mean,
Even like
Emily
how
said,
Colin met Mike in the first place, he said like he got invited to a studio session he didn't even want to go to, and he only went because he wanted to
Mike
work
was
with
there,
Mike.
yeah. I mean, I would do the same.
then Emily literally said she learned how to like sing and scream, try like hearing like, one step closer, and she was like, I could do that. Like in the Apple interview, she was like, I can do that, and then she started there.
It's an exciting time
Yeah,
to be a Linkin Park fan, to be honest. Like,
Mhm.
because it's also like, as much as we love Chester and we'll never stop thinking about him, like, we can admit that, like, his performances in, like, the 2010s were kind of declining.
Especially
Sometimes,
Yeah, like,
Especially
not
2017.
everything. He had some great nights, but, like, especially in 2017, like, it sounded like he was a little strained, like, a lot of those notes.
I think he just sounded tired.
He's not someone who like screamed like technique wise, you know what I mean? Like he kind of knew how to make the sound he made and did it. Whereas I feel like Emily's she does it more like correctly in a way that might like preserve her voice longer.
I've seen some people like concerned that she's gonna hurt her voice doing this. It's like she's been doing this for a while.
She's been flinging herself in the drum kits for a while. I think she'll be okay.
I mean, those people probably think that she's like just straight up yelling and not using any type of like no,
I'd
she's
like
not
it-
yelling like you are at a concert, you know?
Yeah, it's like I'd
And
like
that's
to
why-
see them step up and do that.
She's not losing her voice 5 songs into the concert like I did in LA.
Yeah, exactly.
I was literally about to say, yeah, like if she was yelling like that, she'd be done by lying for you, apparently.
So let's talk about From Zero, what we got so far. So the Emptiness Machine, my God, what a song. We haven't heard the rest of the album. We've only heard one other song, but like I don't think there's a more perfect song they could have come back with. Like it has that perfect Linkin Park atmosphere. Has a bit of Mike, it showcases a lot of Emily. It eases into the Emily by letting Mike go first.
I really liked how it was only Mike for the first verses and then the first chorus. That was like amazing. Which is why
was pretty clever. I think it was like great comeback song. Like I personally like Heavy's The Crown more, but they choose Emptiness Machine as the comeback single. It's perfect for what it is.
There's something to be said about how they're like the only band in like the top 10 streaming numbers. Like that's how good a choice they made with this song. Like millions upon millions of streams in like less than a month.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I like about Emptiness Machine. Like Mike Shinoda can write a fucking chorus, but it's got some cool chord changes in it. And something that I've really liked about both songs that have come out so far is the drum sound. The drums sound killer on these songs.
Yeah.
Emptiness Machine is also so catchy. Like after you hear it like a couple times, it's stuck.
Dude, I think I didn't listen to a single other song for like that first week.
The Emptiness Machine, I'm pretty sure, literally within the span of a week, took over my Spotify Wrapped.
Like you could just stop now and it wouldn't matter.
But
I personally also love the artwork for the CD they did for it. Like if I'm not mistaken, it's a painting from Mike, but it looks so damn cool.
But yeah, these are in hot demand.
Yeah,
they're
dude,
only available at the merch booths at the show. Sometimes they're not even available at the ones outside.
Yeah, you got to go to the right merch booth
and be there early.
Not just any. And then they also have the limited posters at every show that there's 300 of. I see Dylan smiling because he knows exactly what story I'm about to tell.
I didn't even want the posters. The worst part, I wasn't even buying it for myself.
So there's only 300 of these posters for each show, and we go to the merch booth in LA, and Dylan buys one. And
for Mark.
Not, he turns around. You bought it for Mark. That's right. And he turns and takes 2 steps away from the merch booth, and a big gust of wind comes through, and it just rips the poster because he's holding it in one hand.
I was just
and it folds and tears. So he turns around, and the guy at the merch booth was nice enough to give him another one.
He was like, "How did you rip that in 2 seconds?" I was like, "Bro, it's windy out here. Cut me some slack."
Yeah.
You just handed me this straight ass piece of paper and like 2-3 items of merch. You didn't even roll it up for me. I was like, "Damn, bro."
If anybody's curious, there are only 299 of the LA posters.
My bad to the 300th person.
Somebody's going on eBay right now to update it and make it like $299 more.
Yeah, number 1 of 299 instead of 1 of 300.
these CDs for Emptiness Machine are pretty expensive now. If you try to buy them online, you bought them for $10. They're like $150 on Discogs.
And that's come down. They were going for some more like at first.
We also got the instrumental of the Emptiness Machine in that CD. And there are some rumors about upcoming versions of the song, a slowed and reverbed one and a sped up one.
Nightcore.
Yeah.
Version. That's definitely for the TikTok numbers. The TikTokers love that.
Well, there was like the line from you, like somebody nightcored that song, and that was like
I was just listening to that song out loud at work, and this girl came up to me. She was like, "Wait, I know this song." And I was like, "There's no way you know Lying From You by Linkin Park." And then she played me the sped up version. I was like, "No way."
So that's gonna give the Emptiness Machine is gonna have even more TikTok popularity because people are gonna start using the sped up version for some trends. I bet.
The music video was fun too for this. I like seeing Brad in like a UPS delivery outfit was pretty funny. I like how the LPU management also made cameos. Like Lorenzo and Adam.
And Jess. Yeah, they're all in the background of the the office scene where Phoenix is typing on the computer like this.
That music video to me really like kind of showed, it seemed like the whole story was everyone was separated. And
everyone was doing like their own
day jobs. They all got summoned or whatever you want to say, like same spot. Because it even like also like happened slowly within the music video. It wasn't like the whole band just boom. It was literally like they were in Joe's restaurant and then Colin just like appeared out of nowhere. And then Emily at the bar with Mike bartending. It was just kind of like it didn't. I guess maybe the point of that music video was to kind of show that how this happened to an extent, like where it just started with a couple of them getting together.
We also got a case of life imitates art with Mike doing the try the ketchup meme.
Finally, it's canon. It's definitely a less controversial video than the second single, Heavy is the Crown.
Basically, Emptiness Machine comes out, and after a couple shows, Emptiness Machine gets Heavy is the Crown gets debuted.
Yeah. So a couple of rumors pop up after a couple shows. They're like, okay, League of Legends World's Championship is happening. They posted like a schedule of everything they're announcing, and on the 24th of September, a picture of a little crown, and like they're announcing the anthem. So everyone's like, ooh.
That was seriously just 5 days ago.
Time is like slowed down in the Linkin Park world. But yeah, Heavy as the Crown was rumored to come out for like a month, and it quickly, I mean, we had like 2 weeks for these rumors to substantiate, and they did. Because Heavy as the Crown is officially the anthem for Worlds 2024, and it has a whole music video out animated by, if anyone's a fan of League of Legends, I know Drew over on this side is. I don't know much about this, but I've learned it's like there's a culture around the whole like anthem music video that it's people expect it to be like more of a video in relation to like the game and its players like involved in the championship, which I feel it largely is. The music video, it's animated like their show Arcane, with the band members are in it performing, but it's a side piece to like the whole League of Legends story going on in the background with which I understand it's actual like animated versions of the professional players. So
basically every player is designed with features from a champion they're known for. The main story is like the defending champions from last year, which also in their team include basically the GOAT of the game, the one that has the crown and puts it down. They're defending the throne. While the rest go to are contenders from different teams from other regions going to contest the crown. So it ties in with the song, and there's also, as you said, bits with the band performing. I think the animation's really good. I like the arcane animation too, but for the music video, like the band members also look super cool. Mike looks insanely cool.
Let's go around, and if you had to pick one, which single is your fave?
Emptiness Machine, for sure.
Heavy as the Crown jams, I like both a lot, but Emptiness Machine, just like what it stands for, it'll always be like, this is the song that announced the return of Linkin Park to me. And I think it's going to be up there forever for me.
I also like both, but Heavy as the Crown is more my type. A lot of people like say it sounds like Faint, and Faint is my favorite song. So
You know what's
I don't
funny to
hear
me?
it that much, but it's the energy.
What's funny to me is it sounds closer to like Throne by Bring Me the Horizon to me. But also people say that song. People always say that song sounds like Faint too.
For me, I really like both. I will say like Heavy is the Crown. The rap verses really like sound like some of the vocal effects on Mike give me huge like Hybrid Theory, Meteor rapping vibes. Like
the bridge is insane. The bridge is just
and the bridge,
unreal.
Dylan made the perfect analogy after it came out. You said it was like giving up and from the inside had a baby or something like that. And I was like, yeah, it's actually facts. But for me, it's the Emptiness Machine, I guess. I think mainly because I absolutely love how the vocals transitioned from Mike to Emily a lot in that song. And like you said, it's like has a huge standpoint of like this is the beginning of the new chapter. And on like the new chapter thing, it's actually kind of crazy how many new fans will start being fans now, possibly.
Both songs out. What I love is that they
Oh God. They sniped him.
So what I was about to say is I haven't heard both singles. What I loved is how different they are,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me expect more variety in the album as well. I really hope we'll get to see a lot of different stuff on the
Yeah.
album, and if this is like the reference we have, I'm very happy with it.
I'm very
Also,
curious.
especially with Mike's rapping, like I wasn't sure how much of it we were gonna get, and I'm glad there is a lot in the second single.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope this ain't like a wasteland situation, which I really don't think it is, but how they just like kind of, it's like, yeah, see, here's your song that sounds like this, which I don't think it's that. I don't have that vibe at all.
I'm very curious to see what happens with this album because Mike said kind of recently he's been listening to a lot of like new punk, like hardcore stuff like Gel. I saw them in Jersey City like earlier this year. I straight up stage dived and I was like, yo, if Mike's listening to this and if Linkin Park's delivering some stuff like this, it's about to get crazy.
Dylan stage dive and his hair smothered 3 people.
At least I'm light. Like this, this basically is like acts like a soft helmet.
Like, what if we get a freaking like Knocked Loose-esque
That's what I'm
song?
saying, dude. 2025 stadium tour, Linkin Park, Gel, Knocked Loose. That would be crazy. That would be
Knocked Loose.
unreal for everyone involved, I think.
I love Knocked Loose. Their shows are crazy.
So we should probably wrap it up, but we can't leave without we're LPLive. We can't leave without mentioning a little bit of the world tour. Like I said earlier, the first shows in September have come to a close. We'll probably go into depth more about the shows next episode. We'll probably try to do it a little closer to like the next couple of tour dates in November. But yeah, these couple of shows, it's just like a crazy time to be alive. We talked about the set list, but it's like it's 2024. I went to LA and Brooklyn. Anthony went to LA.
We roomed together.
We did. We stayed in the same room together. Last time I saw this dude, I was a literal child. And now
last time we saw each other was at the tribute show in 2017, and you were
I was 17,
right?
I'm 20. I'm a grown ass man now.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Well, I met Ben in Brooklyn for the first time. Flew up from Florida. He flew out from Minneapolis. He flew out from Minnesota. I flew out from New Jersey. He flew out from Florida. Drew saw them in London.
I flew from Greece. Also met Pepe there, who came from Italy.
Yeah, he met our other staff member, Pepe. We met a lot of good friends we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I think we don't really have to discuss the shows. It's just like, we'll discuss it next time.
Our illustrious leader, Mark, was at both New York and LA, and he was at the launch show.
He was
on
at
the
the
5th.
launch show.
And he's going to Texas.
Yeah, he will be at Dallas. I don't think I'm going to any of the November shows yet. Until my bank account recovers a little bit, but
yeah,
hopefully I'll be in gear for 2025 because they're gonna have a very busy year next year apparently.
That's what I want to mention. Like, I think what's so awesome about the whole comeback is that literally everyone who wants to can get to see them next year or so, if not this year. Like, I think they're really gonna do a lot of touring.
It's gonna be an exciting time for us.
It's
They
not
do
like
seem
they
to be like fully into it, like fully invested into the comeback. They
Like the
also look
first
so
show,
happy.
the first show of this tour happened less than a week after it was announced. Everyone's always
And I'm just
announcing tours like a year out now. For that to happen so quickly, it's pretty exciting. It was hard, but it was exciting.
The show in Paris coming up in November is like 40,000 people, and it's sold out in less than 5 minutes, I think.
I mean, and it's like, one, I'm glad that they're doing this. So it's like, it's not like they came out and played these first 5 shows and was like, that's good. Like, we already know like some rumors about next year, like it's gonna be a huge year. So it's like they're going full force with it.
We got a
like,
lot of
straight through.
rumors. We got a lot of South America. We got Mexico. European festivals. We
Yeah,
got
US
American
festivals.
Yeah, US festivals. That doesn't happen often for these guys.
And it's like you got like basically 1 month away from Paris, and then they announced Dallas, and it's like
Brazil.
not even bringing like the bands like Sleep Token and Bad Omens with them. Like
They're
that's
playing every card right, I feel like.
Yeah, the show in Dallas, but what's actually in Arlington, but it's at LPLive Field, which is a baseball stadium that seats like 45,000 people. To give you an idea of like the scale that they're looking at doing this.
And they were smart to bring like Bad Omens. Like Bad Omens and Sleep Token are arguably probably one of the hottest up and coming. Like they've already kind of made a statement, but like they're still rising. Like Bad Omens has skyrocketed the past like 2 years, like insanely.
And Bad Omens in particular is very heavily influenced by Linkin Park.
Dude, their last album, like The Death of Peace and Mind and all that, I mean, that's like very, very LP.
But I guess we'll get more into the tour and the album next time. Anyone got any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are just that there are a lot of things happening for the first time in a long time, and I'm very excited.
I agree.
And my final thought is I can't wait to meet more people like Anthony and Drew and Pepe out on the road and see everyone. It's been so long. It's such good vibes. Like
honestly.
Brooklyn show, just like it's such good vibes. Like being like, oh, what's up? Like meeting people for the first time, seeing people that you have not seen in forever. Like it's great.
That's what a lot of the people outside this community won't understand. Like a lot of the people around the world, like we know each other, and like this is the first time in like years we've had the opportunity to like see all these old friends, meet new friends, and it's like just a good time to be a Linkin Park fan again after a couple long years just waiting around to see what happens.
I agree. I think like as everyone else, I'm super stunned with everything. So happy about what's to come. I think I actually still haven't fully processed what's going on. Like it's been a month, but so much stuff happening.
It doesn't feel like a month.
Yeah, it's still kind of surreal. Like I thought maybe at the live I realized what's up, but I still haven't. So I think I'll enjoy more in 2025 for sure.
Yeah, enjoy the chaos more.
I mean, and the fact is, like, you know, the past few years, LPL was looking for stuff to report on, and then now all of a sudden
they're not ready for us, to be honest. They left us brewing for a little too long.
We did get a shout out at the London show.
They did shout us out. In the pre-show posts, I kept writing about what's set B because they kept doing the little rotation. But yeah, we'll get more into the tour.
Funny thing about that actually is like I'm with my best friend there, and when he shouts out LPLive, he just randomly like grabs me. And
he's like, yo, that's you, bro.
That's him.
I brought my friends to LP the first time, and I was like, after all these years, I've been like, yeah, I'm the Linkin Park guy in my friend group. Everyone who knows me is like, this dude's Linkin Park. So they're just like, to be able to take my friends finally, it's just like, it's a whole new world.
Yeah, the way he shouted out LP Love was hella clever too.
It was awesome.
It's like, and why don't you show him what set B is?
And then like, I'll fucking show you.
Let's actually explain pretty quick, like the set differences for people who are curious.
The first one they played in LA was set A. The main difference, they switch around one song, and then the intros and interludes have different vocals from a different song. So set A, the intros have Castle of Glass, and they play Lost in the Echo, which I think it's the first time they're playing the full version of the song since like January 2014, I think, which is pretty awesome. Set C, which is the one they played next in Brooklyn, has Burn It Down over the intros and interludes, and then in the rotation spot is everyone's favorite, A Place for My Head. And then set C, which they played in London. And I will say also in Europe, they changed things because Keys to the Kingdom was in the encore, but they debuted Heavy as the Crown in Hamburg and replaced Keys to the Kingdom with it. And then set C, Keys to the Kingdom was played in that rotation slot, and then Heavy as the Crown stays in the encore.
Dylan called that.
I predicted it. I kind of hoped I was wrong, but yeah, we'll get more into like the tour and what we want to see live and what's been going on with the set list in the next episode, I think, because we'll have more. We got all the other stuff out of the way about the comeback. But thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for listening. If you listen to us, thanks for watching. That was me, Rogue Soul, Dylan. We had Ben over here. We lost A-Stat, and my co-host Drew is now down here. Drew. We have been LPLive, and we will see you again very soon.
Peace.
So Heavy as the Crown, when it in the lead up to the come up, something like leaked. I think it was part of an episode of Arcane where there's like, it's someone else singing the song in like an acoustic, kind of like slow, dramatic format that you'd hear in like a trailer. I think it's Mako, the guy who sang for the last season of Arcane. But it also looks like there's a version coming out on the soundtrack that just credited to Mike and Emily. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a different version of the song that might be like slower, might be remixed, might be that slow version we heard in this trailer.
More cinematic.
Song is in the track list of the soundtrack for season 2 of Arcane, so very likely we'll get a different version there. And also very likely, Linkin Park are gonna play live on November 2nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's basically the world's finals, and it's like a custom that a lot of times the artist that made the anthem play the song live for the opening ceremony. So it's very likely they have a surprise show there as well.
It also lines up perfectly with the Paris show, which would be the next day.
Paris made me think of this, but let's get a petition going to have Linkin Park open LA 28 Olympics. Just saying.
That would be crazy.
You know, Gojira did Paris, so
That's fact.
get Linkin Park do it in LA.